I appreciate you. I know we most likely will stay our time because of time. So very need to keep some of the sessions short, also to maximize all of our time as much as we want to glean from you. And I also want to appreciate you for your support. I want to say that every of the leaders seated here are not just here as guest speakers or panelists, they are here as our partners. Every one of them have in one way or the other encouraged us both financially, especially financially, because without financial support, this thing will not be possible. I have tried to honor of their DMs, they've called to my aid, they've offered their counsel, they've offered their guidance. So they are here not just as guests now, but as leaders who mean well for you, who want every one of you to learn and become great like them, even greater than them. And I believe that the Lord is going to help us to do so in Jesus' name. All right. Please pay attention, ask your questions when the time comes, and please jot down where the session. So we're going to be starting again. So I want to welcome Natural. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Somebody was telling me at the time that are you sure Natural is going to come? I said, he has given his word. He said, okay, if Natural has given his word, then he's going to come. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So I'm going to start from you, right? So now, we'd like to understand this also and structure thing. Now, many of the young entrepreneurs today, sitting here today, right? Many of them, we have many hardworking young people. I've seen Sugar, I've seen so many other leaders in here who have businesses, I've seen integrity, right? Hardworking, but they are stuck in the hustle piece, right? It's just really also jama, right? Struggle continues. Now, from your experience, what is the exact moment or decision that shifts a business from hustle to structure and growth?
All right, thank you. Number one, every business starts hustle. I remember in 2016 when I was starting my own, like one of the speakers said that usually we start from 9 to 5. And just like I said too, I started as a 9 to 5 too as well, and in 2016, and after 9 months of working for a company, I resigned, and I went ahead to start something. So, but when I resigned, I was already doing something. I was already working in my business, using my laptop. I was writing codes. I was developing my app, a lot of things I was doing all those things. So after 9 months, I was like, I will resign from this company and went ahead. So I told my dad, he said, never you resign. I told my brother, he said, I don't resign. I said, you see that I resign now and succeed, or I will be stuck forever in this industry. So I resigned, I went ahead, I started the business, and in less than 3 years, I remember in 2019, my company generated $1 million revenue. That was when
Wait. You said that casually.
Yeah, in 2019, my company generated $1 million revenue.
How much is $1 million?
Revenue in 2019.
$1 million in 2019, that's over 300 million. Wow.
That was when I was able to put structure in place.
Wow.
Then I had, Rome was not built in a day. You have to start somewhere. I remember from my room, then I was doing my master's, writing coding. First, I always tell people that the laboratory of my school, of my family, was where my hobby started. So I used to write code, even running my master's program, I was writing code before I actually went. So from that place, I left Akintola for Ibarapa, and I rented a shop, a space, just like a shop, then brought in a secretary. Later, it expanded to 5 people. Now I have 7 people in my company now, across multi sector, oil and gas, real estate, IT, and digital marketing. Now,
these 2 things together, that's
huge.
That's huge.
To the glory of God, I never had any help. Of course, the IQ was there for me to develop my software, and I was able to sell it. But I wasn't selling locally. In fact, at the time, all my clients are in the US.
Wow.
So I was selling abroad. That was what I was able to make $1 Now, like I was saying about from hustling to structure, every business starts from hustle. But when you begin to earn money, the first thing you should be looking at is structure in place. Because without structure, you will eventually fail crumble. Now, because growth even kills business. If you grow well and you're not able to manage your clients, you can die. Your place can die. So if you are expanding, you have to ensure you have good structure in place. And what do I mean by structure? Then I called somebody from a friend of mine that I need my company to get audited. And when they came, they said that they told me I don't know an accountant. I said no, I took the accounting myself. Or my dad's an accountant, so I learned basic accounting. So he said, no, you are going to fail. That year, I employed a chartered accountant. In fact, that lady started collecting around 2019. I was already paying her 400,000 naira. At that time, in fact, my own salary was 300 at that time. I used to pay my salary. So when I employed somebody, I was even paying her more than myself. Why? Because she's an expert in that area. So then I was able to put structure in place. Now finding my tax annually. Then that was how I was able to diversify into that other sector of business.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now, there are two things. Please, if you're going to clap, you can do better. Right? Now, there are two things he said I don't want you to mix. He said the laboratory of his school was the place his business starts. Right? Some of you are in school today, some of you are probably serving, and you think maybe when I'm done, that's when I will start. You are serious. You are on a long thing. He said he started while he was doing his master's in school. Right? That was where he started coding. That's where he started his own business and put structure to it. And that important thing he said, if you are not careful, growth can kill your business. And he also said something profound in that line, that he had to, for structure to be in place, you have to pay somebody outside more than himself so that he will build that structure. That is sacrifice. He said it casually. Some of the things he's saying are looking casual, but he was saying some profound thing. He has to pay them. He's paying somebody 400,000. Why him as CEO or the government is collecting 300,000? That's huge, and that's humility. But why did he have to pay that sacrifice? So that there will be structure that will sustain the business, that the business will not die. Are we learning something? Are we learning something? Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. All right, okay.
I want to do something, man. One thing I realized is that if you are the smartest person in your team, by the time you are no longer effective, your business will fail. So I employ people that are smarter than me. In fact, when I go to lubricants, my national sales manager is still earning more than me today.
Wow.
Because I realized if I'm the smartest person in my team, if I have a problem in the company that we cannot solve, then nobody can solve it.
Awesome.
So somebody smarter than me that can solve that problem will be my team to help me along.
Please, if you are clapping, you can do better. Listen, please. So that was to build a successful business and grow. Then you need people who are smarter than you to work for you. Wow, that's good. Thank you so much, sir. All right, so now quickly to Honorable Boss. Now you said something during the boot camp, right? Which I'm going to quote now and then take you from there. You said, and I quote, your business must outgrow your personality. So now I come small business owners in Ibarapa, right? Who probably call CEO, is the CEO, is the marketer, is the delivery person. Start business systems so the business can run without them. Because I know many times you travel, the hotel is there and all of that. How can young people build a business that can run effectively even when they are not there?
Yeah, our business can run without you. I say something to people. For you to have a successful business, you must find a way, a system to make sure your business runs without you. Because a day will come that the business will be there and you will appear again. So you must find a way. And thank God now, the age at which we are now is now the digital world. As I'm sitting here now, the key sticker here actually identified one of my very good person. He actually pitched in something to me. He said, I saw the system that which he developed. This is a very nice one. A system that a customer can book, I will get notification before they actually move in. If someone pays, I get a notification. The way your business can actually run without you at this present age is through digitalization, the IT world. Create a system, meet developers, I think develop a software for you. Everything in this world, every business could be digitalized, be it agriculture, real estate, every business could be digitalized. Like all these estate agents, if I need to buy a property now, I don't need to start going to shops any longer. It's not for me to go online, go to GG, search for properties around, then I get my contact. So if you are still in the archaic way of running business, not moving digital, then there is no way you can actually run your business without you being there. Because if you have to be in your business all the time, I think the one is just jeopardizing its health. Because your business will score to a particular point that you might not be there all the time. And you want to be there all the time, it will be so difficult. So the only way you can do that is digitalization. For me now, we have to move digital. So think of digitalization.
Awesome. So what's the key word? Think what? Think what? Digitalization. Anything you're doing, you should think, how can I digitalize this? What app can I build? What website can I build? How many of us have website here? You have a business and your business have a website. Right? Now that's where you start from. That's where you start from. How many of us, okay, let me put it this way. How many of us need a website for our business? Let me see. You have a business, I need a website for your business. Okay? Maybe I try to do that later. Alright, I think I see a few others. Okay, so we're going to go back to that afterwards. Now, I like you. I want to ask. Now, this one, I know your story, you shared this a bit. I want every other person to learn from it also. Now, we always celebrate success, but growth comes with scars. Can you share a specific time you have failed in business or made a terrible investment and what that has taught you about the growth code, about the growth that you have now?
Thank you, Pastor. I just want all the participants here in this school because it is a great opportunity for us who are students to learn. Because this kind of learning is not common, but we should see it as opportunity. When I was discussing something with Dr. Sawoti, we said something like that. He said, can it be possible for someone to be an entrepreneur without being an employee? So I said it is not possible. Because interest will develop from somewhere. When I was in secondary school, I picked interest in agriculture. But despite the fact that my profession is accounting. But when I finished school, I found myself in manufacturing company. I want us to be following the trend, how I found myself where I am today. Initial thought was interest in agriculture. So that is the initial motive I picked. But when I finished school, I opportunity to work in a multinational company, which they are manufacturing. So I worked for some years. So, but the initial interest I had, I did not lose focus on that. When I was working, I started investing in farming. My company was one of the pioneer companies that is supplying South International. Then, so it is from there. That's how I'm in a manufacturing company, and the area I'm managing, the manufacturing company where I work, I was the one that is determining profit. So I'm the one that is preparing MPR, monthly performance report. So I said, no, there's money in the manufacturing sector. So I now started developing a cassava plantation. That is where I started my own factory, small. I know one day I will start. So to save the time, when we started the production, definitely there is challenge because what we want to start producing, we met some people in the market. And it will be a tug of war to convince people that what we are doing is different because you want to get customer. So, for good 3 years, definitely, it was rough, not bit rough, terrible. But I did not shake because of the experience I had. That definitely that's not how you start the processing, you will get your profit. So I didn't even for good. I projected for 5 years, but it took me 4 years before we break even.
So you were running losses for 4 years.
For 4 years without making any dime, but we did not check. So the idea is one of this guest speaker, that man, sorry, he made a very valid point, saying what matters most in the business is potential and location. So when we break even, the losses we encounter for good 4 years, we overcome under 3 months.
Wow.
Under 3 months.
If you are clapping, you can do better.
So you see, when you are running a business, one of the challenges you are going to face, especially when you are not making profit, people will be talking, so why did you invest all this kind of business? So a lot of, but don't look at that side. See what you are doing as a passion. Stick to the plan and work towards it. So the advantage of location, when my guest speaker mentioned, we have some partners now. They are investors. They are just passed by where we located. They say air is smelling of what we are producing. So that's how they drive it. They came, they asked for some document. Where is this? Where is that? Where is this and that? That is how they say, okay, these people, they are serious. If a person can reach to this stage without without the government involvement, they have a big mind of a serious minded person. So that is how they connected us with international market, local market. As I'm talking to you now, you are able to meet up with demand. In fact, when we have some crisis of demand at times, within this Yoruba axis, we used to buy not less than 40 million of Gari at times within this Yoruba alone. At least to see the one that they even go with our, despite the fact that there is still some challenge, but we see manage to source from them. So the idea is we should not lose focus. And as one of my man said, the house will not be built in a day. And today, when we started like 10 employees. Today, both casuals and permanent staff, we are up to 50.
Awesome. Please, if you are clapping, you can do better.
And the business is growing well, very, very well now. So please, the idea is, by now, when you are in school, you have to serve people to get money. While you are serving, think of what you can offer yourself so that at least you can have a better life.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Wow. He said 3 profound things I don't want you to miss. Number one, right? You need to serve your way to the top. Service is the way you gain. You're not just serving for money. You are serving to gain knowledge. Intention. Is not. See, stop this habit of no. If you are smart, you are going to be because you are learning from them for free. You are learning from them for free. So that is one. Then two, he mentioned something. Stick to the plan. Right? There will be times, see, you should not start a business without a plan. If a business is running losses for 4 years, you think it's going to be easy to stay there? But then because he saw the plan, he knows the plan. I know the beauty of what he said now. The moment they hit the 4th year and they start to break even, all of their 4 years losses was recovered in how many months? In just 3 months. So when you stick to the plan, many times one of the things that kills us as young people is that we give up before we break even. And most times we give up because you don't have a plan. You just enter into it because work, share, let me just do it. But if you have a plan, you have a marketing plan, you have an execution plan, you have an operational plan, and you have a good financial plan, you'll be able to look at your plan. When your business is running across, just look at your plan again. I'm still on track. Then you remain there. Is that awesome? Are you learning something? All right. So again, our time is running. Oh my God, there's still a lot of questions. But then let me ask this. Right? So, one thing is, did I mention that is it to Gary production? The same Gary that you trivialize, right? You already mentioned that you even buy from people over 40 million naira of Gary within the community in a day. Right? Gary is making somebody a billionaire. And Gary, you don't like to sell. I also do Gary. Alright, business in the local community like this is tough. I know that you've done business there now, you also go to Malaysia. Malaysia is 6 again. How are you seeing those little communities? Let's be honest, right? In developing regions, it's called the public infrastructure like light, market size challenges, and all of that. How can a local business owner turn these so-called disadvantages into a competitive edge that they will use to scale their business?
Hello. I just want to know whether we are still here. Hello. Because to some of us, what we are doing might be feeling bored. But I want to congratulate you for having this opportunity. And you're having it very cheap. I don't think you pay any money. How many of you pay something before you are admitted here? Did you pay any money? Answer me, did you pay any money? You can. The other time while my friend was talking, you made mention of having a conference that people pay some money, right? And I was telling you, to host a conference in Lagos Continental Hotel, it's not a small money. And this guy is doing it. Let's give a round of applause to Adejesubisi and his team for giving us this free of charge. Number one, I want to appreciate those that have spoken here today. They have opened our eyes to a whole lot of things that some of us are not taking note of. The question that this man asked me is so complex, but it's also very simple. Complex because I have experience and a lot of experiences. I've tried being a politician, aspire, and that cost for you as a businessman. Majority of things that you push out there, people think is still part of all this funding and part that we used to hand out that we used to give to them. And I want to take advantage of you, Honorable Isoro. The kind of business that I'm doing is trading. I trade commodity, cocoa, cashew, sesame seeds, soybean. And there were a whole lot of challenges, doing this business here. It's not what you are going to buy on the spot. I'm not a market man that will just go there. I want to buy pepper, 2 naira, you pay, you carry. This one is an aggregation business. When you are doing aggregation business, you need a whole lot of clusters, a lot of people in the chain that are going to gather for you from the farmstead. They are going to gather, maybe some of you doesn't know, this whole lot of cashew that you see we put in the truck, they are not coming out that way. They are coming from Ikekon, Ikemeji, Ikemeta. A woman will sell to one baba in the village. That man will gather it about 2-3 bags, will bring it to, somewhere. They are going to buy 1 ton, 2 ton from somebody. They were going to use our vehicle to aggregate them, bring them to somewhere, process them, and do all of that value addition that we need to do before we get into the port. It's so massive. It involves a whole lot of process. It involves a whole lot of people, and involves a whole lot of logistics. While Natural was talking the other time, he made mention of all this from hustling, to being owning a business. It takes a whole lot of things. It takes developing process, and it takes developing systems. The same thing my brother said, and when this man was talking, his life in you is a system to study. And so, for every business owner that you have been able to see doing well, it has taken us a lot of things. It has taken away things from us too. One of those things that has taken away from us is majority of us we've lost the kind of life we have dreamed to live. You understand? Dream to live. In the sense that some of us like to give people money. We just want to give people money. You see there, and party will follow. Today here will come tomorrow. Will follow. This will come tomorrow. Will follow. But you are not putting one thing into consideration. A check. If there is no strong control in what you are doing, there will not be profitability. These things will be eating up on your working capital, and eventually the business will not grow. And we are talking of growth code here. If you can ask this man, he will tell you. He's doing a philanthropy, he's still doing it. But there are times you have to start of yourself on something. You have to stop doing something deliberately. Some people were asking me last year, December, so did you see me for Christmas and New Year? I said I didn't come. He said why? I said I just don't come. You know, as a business owner, you must be disciplined. There are some things you say no, not to. And you don't cross those lines. They are red lines. If you cross those lines, your business will die. You want to expand, you don't just expand. Are you expanding based on the system that has grown so well? If my friend is going to school, we were in a place, day for yesterday, at a birthday party, around 5 p.m. At that 5 p.m., he's having a seminar, a paid seminar that people have paid for. And I was wondering, 5 o'clock, this man, you are still here now. Who is delivering? He said, I don't have to be there. And you know what that means? System. He has developed a system. And that process is running smoothly. So for some of us that are working in the rural areas, we have seen that there's no money that we have seen in those cities that didn't come from the rural area. And that is why if I have the opportunity of coming again into this world, if it's possible, I'll still choose the rural area. Because that is where there's money. People will say,
Clap, wow.
So you go in the world, you have seen in the villages of Taraba State, in the villages of Kogi State, I've been in, Madam was saying she has been in Adejesubisi State and Abuja. You are 2 months more than I do, except for Sokoto and Maiduguri. I've been in other 34 states of Nigeria trading, buying, sourcing sesame, sourcing cocoa, sourcing cashew, sourcing all these things. Because I found out that in those areas, there are good potential that my friend has said. But if somebody has not gone there to tell them that this thing we are delivering them, some people don't know. When I want to remember this name of Lapai played the United States. I was given a challenge to develop a sesame business of my company where I worked before. They said we need white sesame. I've not seen white sesame before. And through my research, I found out that Lapai has a white sesame and Napa in Benue State. So I had to go there, meeting with this farmer group, meeting with this farmer, and I was trying to tell them the opportunity of this white sesame. And that is why many of them now develop a system of growing more, develop clusters and assessing what you are growing. Going to those places, you are actually generating wealth for yourself. You can quickly, break even, but at the same time, you must stay disciplined. In the area of energy, there's no way if you are working in the rural environment, you must develop, you must be so adaptive. So you see, adaptation makes you be able to break even working in those areas. And at the same time, you must leverage on innovations that we have had around. Many of us, in my place, I can remember before now, we were using the fuel of almost about, before we have what is your 1,350. In a day, we have to use about between 12 to 10 liters of fuel. But we later developed the solar system for our operation because throughout the night, we have to light our facility, to control a whole lot of things, filtering, from us. Because even your neighbor wants to steal, they will come back later. And they were going to use the dark area of that places, to carry all those good back and you will see come and sell it during the day. So to cover all these ones, we leverage on the innovations around. And at the same time, stay disciplined. The third one, as I said, control these your expenses. You have to stay in control. Put it under check. Where money is going. Because before you know what is happening, majority of things you are planning to do your profit, you will eventually lose it to all these necessary education letters and codes. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Can you clap? Are you clapping? Come on. These are wisdom dropping. These are wisdom dropping. Right? Now, quickly, you mentioned something. Adaptability. If you can discipline yourself and adapt properly, you will find that in those local places, there are competitive edge, there are advantages. I want to ask you, many of you are in Ibarapa, probably for education, probably for your service, probably you were born here, probably whatever, you are here. Have you found out, right, in that time, you found white system in Ibarapa? What is that one thing that you found as an edge, as an advantage that you could make use of? What is that one thing? One of the things I can tell for free that Ibarapa has in good quantity, number one is arable land. 2 is charcoal. 3 is cassava. Right? Cashew in abundance. You know the beauty of this is that he just like you said that he's not based in Lapai. He just aggregated those that were farming the same farm. And then he went and sourced for the market. And he's making billions and millions from them. Right? Just billions of them. Export. As at today, he exports in tons of trucks. Right? So what advantage are you finding in this community? And are you looking to access and harness for your business? Right? So because of our time, I still have some 3 major summit questions, but I want us to make this as quick and as brief as possible. Right? So we're going to just a time machine challenge to say that if you could go back to the exact day you start your business, right? Now, what one piece of advice will you give yourself? Now, you want to start all over now, and you've learned a lot to where you are today now. What one advice will you give yourself? Especially for those of us that are just starting our business, so that we can get that advice from you today. Thank you, sir.
Number one, the advice I'll give to myself first is I'll not be afraid to share my risk and my fears. Because at the beginning of my business, I started it all alone. Myself, and me. But if it happened to be today, I won't do it that way again. I will cheerfully tell people, invite my friends, can we do this all together? Collaboration. You can actually collaborate. You can share the risk. We need also this, we are accountants. We can be on our accounting table. I'm an operation person. Let me continue to be an operation person. You are this. You are an administrator. Be an administrator. Let's now sit down on the table and let's see how all of us can start getting better. Because why many of us are failing, you start 1-2 years, you fail. You still go back and start all over. It's because we don't want to share our risk, and that is why we are too greedy to earn the whole profit by ourselves. So and that is why people will not even lend you money. Because you didn't tell them how to issue. This is someone very you and 1 million. So 2 of 250, 300, you know I'm 250. So see if you can just sit down like that, share those risks, and the opportunity that is coming our way ahead of us, all of us will look at it together. And before you know, they are not compromised, they will grow well, to grow faster.
Thank you.
Thank you. To prevent high risk, I think a proper structure needs to be put in place. Because there are some things we normally do, thinking that we are cutting costs, which is very, very important. Because let me give you an instance. Where you're supposed to have 2 security, they say, okay, the cost is high, let me put 1. Don't forget that the 2 security, their function will be more valuable than 1. So that is 1. secondly, I read this. So secondly, so we have to stick to our passion, because once you allow the something to change you, that may be the end of the business. Let me add one thing that I forgot to add. You know, when you challenge, and because of the focus and the passion I have for that business, I sold one property that, okay, no, this business must remain. So, before I sold that property, sometimes, why this as a property? You see where I'm living? The property I sold is for a business. So, but the goodness of it is, that same property I sold, when I start interest, I build another for 3 months. So, if I don't sell that property, the business will be the end of, and all the what I injected to the business may not see the green light. So we should not be shaken. Let's stick to our intention and make sure that we do not lose any focus and put proper structure in place. So that will help the business to grow faster.
Thank you so much. Same question.
If I'm actually to start my business again for start, I think what I will have to do is to learn more about the business, learning more totally about it. I'm very happy that Mr. Motai is actually here today. I remember when I actually wanted to open for Amos, he told me something. He said, 2 things: employ a good manager. Where money is going, because before you know what is happening, majority of things you are claiming to be your profit, you will eventually lose it to all this necessary reputation better than close. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Can you clap? Are you clapping? Come on. These are wisdom dropping. These are wisdom dropping. Right? Now, quickly, you mentioned something. Adaptability. If you can discipline yourself and adapt properly, you will find that in those local places, there are competitive edge, there are advantages. I want to ask you, many of you are in Ibarapa, probably for education, probably for your service, probably you're born here, probably you're whatever, you are here. Have you found out, right, in that time, you found white system. In Ibarapa, what is that one thing that you found as an edge, as an advantage that you could make use of? What is that one thing? One of the things I can tell for free that Ibarapa has in good quantity, number 1 is arable land. 2 is charcoal. 3 is cassava. Right? Cashew in abundance. You know the beauty of it is that he just like you said that he's not based in Lakai. He just aggregated those that were farming the same farm. And then he went and sourced for the market. And he's making billions and millions from them. Right? Not the millions of them. Export. As of today, he exports in tons of trucks. Right? So what advantage are you finding in this community? And are you looking to access and harness for your business? Right, so because of our time, I still have some 3 major summit questions, but I want us to make this as quick and as brief as possible. Right, so we're going to just a time machine challenge to say that if you could go back to the exact day you start your business, right? Now, what one piece of advice will you give yourself? I want to start all over now, and you've learned a lot to where you are today now. What one advice will you give yourself? Especially for those of us that are just starting our business, so that we can get that advice from you today. Thank you, sir.
Number 1, the advice I'll give to myself first is I'll not be afraid to share my risk and my fears. Because at the beginning of my business, I started it all alone. Myself, and myself, and me. But if it happened to be today, I won't do it that way again. I will cheerfully tell people, invite my friends, can we do this all together? Collaboration. You can actually collaborate. You can share the risk. We need so this, we are accountants. We can be on our accounting table. I'm an operation person. Let me continue to be an operation person. You are this. You are an administrator. Be an administrator. Let's now sit down on the table. and let's see how all of us can start getting better. Because why many of us are failing, you start 1-2 years, you fail, you still go back and start all over, is because we don't want to share our risk, and that is why we are too greedy to earn the whole profit by ourselves. So, and that is why people will not even lend you money. Because you didn't tell them how to issue. This is someone very you, and 1 million. So, 2 of 250, 300, you know, 850. So, see if you can just sit down like that, share those risks, and the opportunity that is coming our way or ahead of us, all of us will look at it together. And before you know, they are not compromised, they will flow well, will go faster.
Thank you.
Thank you. To prevent high risk, I think a proper structure needs to be in place. Because there are some things we normally we thinking that we are cutting costs, which is very, very important. Because let me give you an instance. Where you're supposed to have 2 security, you say, okay, the cost is high, let me put 1. Don't forget that the 2 security, their function will be more valuable than 1. So, that is 1. Secondly, we have to stick to our passion. Because once you allow the something to change you, that may be the end of the business. Let me add one thing that I forgot to add. When the challenge, and because of the focus and the passion I have for that business, I sold one property that, okay, no, this business must remain. So, before I sold that property, sometimes, why this another property? You see where I live? The property I sold is my business. So, but the goodness of it is, that same property I sold, when I still have interest, I build another for 3 months. So, if I not sold that property, the business will be the end of, and all the what I injected to the business will not see the green light. So we should not be shaking. Let's stick to our intention and make sure that we do not lose any focus and put proper structure in place. So that will help the business to grow faster.
Thank you so much. Sir, same question.
If I'm actually to start my business again for start, I think what I will have to do is to learn more about the business, learning more quickly about it. I'm very happy that Mr. Motai is actually here today. I remember when I actually wanted to open Amos, he told me something, someone's experience. Else, you have to run it yourself. So, I just said, it's not just to go with this, I can do it now. And I'll see by that and go. So I went ahead to just employ somebody like, business now, and stay because I need to look for someone, maybe a family member or someone that is close to you that can manage the business well. So we started. I just noticed that the first day we opened the business, my barman, the very first day, actually just went in with 450,000 back. Second day, he told me something, he said, if you buy generator, make sure it's brand new. Now I noticed my generator, 2-3 days. Wow, I started spending millions. That's what what this man told me is true. If I had gotten someone with good experience, if I got someone with good experience, he would have guided me based on where he started from. Because I basically was in the oil and gas field. But hospitality, based on I saw the gap in the Ibarapa region, like in hospitality, even at the moment. So that was when I thought, okay, let me do. But I saw that every business needs learning. Enough one. Be rooted so you go far.
Thank you. To me, I think one of the things I work on, of course, I work on what I started, is I build trust in Now, because why I'm saying this, I remember the first company that paid me. That company is called Coins from Ukraine. They paid us $2,500 in 2016. In fact, that day when I was writing my final exam in FUTA and masters, I left the exam. Yes. I was happy. I was jumping. But that was my first revenue I got. Now, what am I saying about trust? I have not done their job at that time. They only sent us the money in our account. Now, at that time, I've been running with that money and not to the job. That's why when I see some Yahoo guys collecting money and all, like, I always get angry, get pissed at them. This company paid me, I never met them. We always spoke via email and maybe on Skype and they made payment. So, trust. Why am I saying this? Sometimes your business may start as a service company. Maybe you are a plumber. When you tell your client you are coming by 9 a.m., you can't come by 9 a.m. Right now, I'm in construction. One of my challenges in that business is artisans working for us. In fact, they are the weapon fighting against blind contractors these days. That's the reality. Plumbers, electricians, all of them. In fact, there was a time until we began to use immigrants for our business. We go to Utah, go to Shagi to import artisans. That is when we begin to prosper in that industry. So build trust. If you are an hairdresser, if you are coming by 9, let's say 9 to 9, no, people will trust you and they will recommend you. Now, if people trust you, they will do free publicity for you, free marketing. No matter what you do, if they are selling Gary and your Gary will get to Lagos 10 a.m. tomorrow, don't tell them to come yesterday. Let them know tonight to come. Build that trust. I'm telling you, people will promote your business free for you. Thank you.
Awesome. Now, we're going to take it from there for the last question. Now, let's take it again. He said you should build what? You should build what? Now, he said you should do what? Learn. See, that's why many of us make mistake. You just don't get to business. You don't learn. That's why we talk about internship. You need to go and intern, learn. And he said what? Structure. What did he say? Let's take it again. He said what? Build what? Build what? What did he say? Learn more. And what did he say? Build what? Build what? And what did he say? Collaborate. Collaborate. Like Olumide Emmanuel used to say, he said 10% of 50 million is more than 100% of 500,000. 10% of 50 million is more than 100% of 500,000. So you want to be CEO, COO, everything, you want to chop on your profits. Why not allow somebody to bring in the resources, collaborate and build together? Are we learning something? Are we learning something? Your yes is good. Are you learning? Yes. Good, awesome. So now to the last question, right? Before I'll just take, like I said, just 3 questions from the audience. All right. What is one skill every entrepreneur needs to learn in 2026? Like it is a must. You want to do business, you are learning business. Then this one, you must have it in this year. Before end of 2026, go and master this skill. What is that one?
I'll combine it. I would say digital marketing. Because just like everybody has been saying, you can be here and sell anywhere in the world. I told you from the comfort of my laboratory in Kuta, I was telling my hardware software. It's because of my exam marketing skill. And like he also said, you barely said it. You can be selling his Gary without using his Gary to digital marketing. He's selling his conference online. So, because of course, eventually you might have somebody that will be doing that for you when you have skill or when you don't have money. But if you start it, if you no matter what you are doing, if you are a plumber, service provider, digital marketing is very, very, very important. No, if you are teaching online, I've seen people teaching mathematics online. Digital marketing, anything you are doing, I'm telling you. And just think of anything you are doing, no matter what you are doing, errand, logistics, classroom, anything you are doing. So get it first, because that will save you costs for paying somebody to do that for you. Thank you.
Awesome. Please clap.
The skill is basically general. Everybody knows is digital. It's not only digital. But I don't want to go with just actually move the way everybody works. Aside from digital skill, in every business you do, you must be able to fit in where there is a gap. It is very, very important. So you must then be skilled. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. I think the essence of why we are here is to become an entrepreneur, if I get it right. So, to me, Yoruba say, okay, so I think we should all go deeper now on research and focus. That, okay, I'm here today, and the essence why I'm here is to come and hear from the people already on the field. So, what can you offer yourself? So it is time for us now to start researching. So whatever we pick in the industry, then we focus on it and make sure we follow it. So as Ella said, so there's no how we become an entrepreneur without having the experience. And how do you want to have the experience? You serve people. But the bottom line is start the timing of what you can become to the future. Thank you.
Hello everyone. Yeah, once again, my own will be data analysis. Data rules the world, and data tells you the pattern of things. If you are not a man that takes note of things, and when we are saying data, it's not those big things, though. Those small things that we thought are not matter, they really matters a lot. So it's until you keep data and you're able to read the pattern of things that you're able to forecast well. You know what to reduce, what to increase, what to avoid, So for this remaining time that we have ahead of us, I want to encourage all of us to learn how to develop your data and to analyze your data. There's no business you will do if you are not keeping record. Because when we talk of data, it comes from your record keeping. If you don't know how to keep record, you will not be able to trace the pattern of things. You buy raw materials of 100 naira, you use 2 naira to process it, you pay double advance of 3 naira, you pay digital this, you pay digital space of this, and you give 2 naira out. Don't forget, I am emphasizing one word here. Those unnecessary giving. You give 2 naira out, or this 1 naira out. That doesn't have direct implication on your business. Partnering with people of like mind like this, if I've invested, let's say I have that money to invest like 100 million in what we are doing here, I know we will not be in this hall. That one is a profitable venture. So you can give those money because it will have direct effect on what I'm doing. People know my company better, they will know what I'm doing, I'll be able to showcase what I'm doing. All those this money that doesn't have good record. It's until you're able to track them that you know they are eating away your profitability. But if you are not keeping record, you will not know. I grew this because I was taking record. Good advice from my wife. She called me one day and said, "Folks, all these times, like the flying December festivities, you always be nagging when there's no money. Why?" I said, "You know what is our leader now, our people. We have to give them this." He said, "Let's take notes." And she helped me develop that data. And that's when I know, so I'm spending so much money on all this giving that doesn't have, direct impact on our business. Nobody knows me through politics. I was new very well on my business. People know me because I am doing this farmer training, buying cocoa, buying cashew, developing vendors, grow them, networking them, bringing marketers, bringing banks. That's where people know me. So, but politics is just a leverage. I'm leveraging on what I've been doing well. You know, the Rotary, just as my brother, people know us that we laptop people, we give money. But they are taking advantage of that. They say, when you are a Rotarian now. So, is Rotary giving us money? We are the ones giving out our money. So, please, record keeping to develop your data and to be able to analyze those data is very, very crucial to every business that's going to grow. You're welcome, my sister. Welcome. A round of applause for my sister that just coming in.
All right, okay.
Yeah, thank you once again. So, buttress what he said, he talks about knowledge, no partial ability. Now, this is how I normally frame it. Try to know at least 5% of everything in this world. Why am I saying this? They are talking about politics in your locality, have knowledge. They are talking about, I have in my business, I run a multi-sectoral business across the sector. My architect cannot come to me and tell me one design because I didn't take that drawing in school of science. I can correct him. My dad's an accounting teacher. I've marked several accounting classes. I know something in accounting. So if you know at least, make 5% in every area of your life, I'm telling you, you excel. Don't leave accounting to any other because when your accountant brings something, there is a way accountant package accounting. I forgot the language. They call it clinical accounting. Creative accounting. Yes, when this accountant come and package it, you look at what is this now. So if you don't know at least a little thing about every area of business, you probably fail. And how do you get to know this thing? You need to read books. Now, when people say Africa doesn't read books, and the secret of this was inside the book, so they hide those information in the book, and we fail to read books. If you are not reading books, I'm telling you, you will not go far in life because information are secret. I inside books. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, sir. Now, if you are going to forget anything, there's one thing Coach was emphasizing that I want to tell every one of us. Record keeping. See, that's the